We are live, everybody. This is Whalen Lake. Yesterday we went to Hamel Woods. This is one of my other favorite spots to go. Goose has been here a few times. I really like it here. So I think we had some fingerprints on the camera. But this is a beautiful little lake. Although, well, I guess you could say it's little. A lot of ground to cover over here, you know, and this gazebo here, usually in the summer, people have cookouts, parties. You know, people do kayaking. You see the dock over there. If you follow this trail around the lake, there's a bridge that goes to another park, which is pretty cool. There's some fishing lakes over there, and you could fish here too if you want. There's fish in this lake. People fish here all the time, or kayak. So yeah, and there's a dog park over there, and there are trails that go all the way. I mean, there's so much ground to cover here. This neighborhood back here, there are kind of like hidden trails through the weeds that you can go and you can kind of climb up. There's some hills you can go up, and although they're easier to get to when you go back to the park, or the hidden park in the back over the bridge, you can get to this neighborhood a lot easier. But there are some hidden paths in these weeds that we've been to. But yeah, people ride their bikes here, jog, go to the dog park. There's trails that go past the dog park. There's another pavilion. And those go, I haven't even gone all the way down. I mean, those trails, I don't know how far they go. They go pretty far. But there's Miss Gray Goose. And I don't know what that was. Sounded like a tire squealing. Okay. But we are at Whalen Lake. Beautiful spot. One of my other favorite spots. Hamel Woods and Whalen Lake, probably. Definitely top 5. Definitely top 5. And we got some other dogs here. People walking. It's usually a lot, especially on Sunday. The weekends, there's a lot of people out here on the weekends. It's really nice, actually. You do a lot of socializing out here. Not just for your dog, but people, you know. Meet a lot of new people over here. Here, let's go down by the lake, girl. You wanna go down by the lake? Let's go down by the lake. The one thing I wish they do have a bathroom here. Actually, they have a few. The one thing I'm surprised they don't really have, though, is they don't have bag dispensers. So always got to make sure you have a couple bags on you, because they never have any here. Which, considering how big this place is, I'm surprised. Actually, now that I think about it, they might have some at that park in the back, but they don't have any here at the lake. I'm sure they do at the dog park, but you can't get in there without a permit, of course. You know, you might be able to ask somebody if they'd nicely give you one. But anyway, wait for some people to show up before I start talking about anything. No point in talking to nobody, right? So if you're watching this on replay, you know, you may have to skip ahead. So nobody's in here at the moment. Beautiful day too. I mean, it's nice clouds, little breeze, a little cooler than yesterday, which is nice. Actually, the morning was pretty cool. I think we're starting to get those fall mornings, at least, which I don't mind. It'd be easier on Goose, for sure. Looks like we got another dog coming up, which I'm okay with, perfectly fine with. Nah, looks like maybe they're holding a bag. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. What you think, girl? What you think? I don't know. 10:30 may be the sweet spot for live streaming. 10:30. Got a lot of action yesterday at 10:30. Anyway, appreciate you joining. Just waiting for some people to show up before we start discussing anything. And fuck, if nobody shows up, you know, I'll still get going. You can watch on replay, you know. Yeah. All right. Come on, girl. Let's go. Morning. Yep, come on, girl. Let's go. Yeah, I love this lake. Beautiful lake. Never gone in it, really. Although, well, I used to take my other dog down to the pier. Morning. How are you? He used to love getting in the water down there. He was a swimmer. Yeah, down there. That goes to a pier where you can kayak. I used to love taking Bruno down there. He used to love getting in the water. He was a swimmer, for sure. Loved getting in the water. Anyway, got one person here, so I guess I'll get going on the topic today. Come here, Goose. We got a dog coming up here, so we'll stay here for a minute. But appreciate everybody showing up. We are at Whalen Lake, one of my other favorite spots. Beautiful day out today. We got a couple dogs. Not a lot of action today. Usually this place gets pretty busy on the weekends. Friday morning, I thought maybe we'd have something, but yeah. All right, good girl. I'll get going in a minute here. Just waiting for this dog to pass. All right, come on, girl. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Okay, appreciate everybody showing up. So recently, you know, certain individuals have been attacking commenters. I mean, this is nothing new, but I find it interesting. It's like how petty people can be. You know, you claim to be all about truth, and you know, you offer all this criticism. The majority of your videos are criticizing other people, but the second somebody criticizes you, it's like you if somebody has to respond to every little thing somebody else says, like they can't let it go. I mean, that to me is an insecurity. Now, the particular person I'm talking about will claim that, well, if someone looks up my name and sees your video, I have to put out the right information so they see my video, and it's like counteracting. Well, here's the thing: you got 2,500 videos, so you know, if you haven't put out enough of the right information, then something's wrong. Especially when every video is pretty much saying the same thing over and over and over again. And yes, I'm talking about Dale McCluskey. But Robert Hines is no different. They're like two ends of the same spectrum, or they're like the same person but on opposite ends, right? But there's an individual loyal dogs who watches and comments on my content, and I guess Dale got butthurt because Dale did a video on me recently about the, you know, the dogs that if you put your hand on their head they'll bite you, and she was just trying to point out that Dale acts like he knows everything. And which is true, he does act like he knows everything. She didn't, I have the comment, she didn't say anything egregious. Well, at least he deleted the first comment. I have the second comment she left. Or actually, well, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Could be a man. But, morning. How are you?
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. She may not come to you. Strangers, she's a little avoidant of. She usually avoids new people, but she may come to you.
What is his name?
Oh, her name's Grey Goose.
Grey Goose?
Yeah, like the
I
vodka.
like
Yeah, like the vodka. I always say she's like a little shot of doggy
Wow.
vodka. Yeah.
My son-in-law used to have a bulldog.
Yeah.
Marshall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was his name Marshall?
His name
Yeah.
is Marshall. Still alive.
Oh, is he? Okay.
20 years old.
20 years old. Wow.
12.
Oh, 12. I was about to say.
12. Yeah,
12,
yeah.
20 is like
How
unheard
old
of.
is,
She is, well, she was found as a stray.
okay.
So our best guess is 3.
3.
Yeah, she may be 3 years old.
Wow.
That's as big as she'll get, though. She's a micro.
Wow.
So that's as big as she'll get.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Have a good one. Yeah, people love to stop and say hi to Grey Goose. Anyway. So loyal dogs, you know, which has every right to watch and comment on whatever video this person wishes. I don't understand this mentality that guys like Dale have, where they think they have the right to police the content that people watch. Because he banned Missy Kissel for simply, and I have the comment saved still. She simply left a comment on a video saying, she was talking about me, saying, I like Kevin, he's pretty cool, I don't mind him, he doesn't really criticize people that much, and he banned her for it. But he also banned another individual named Will. It was, he simply left a comment asking, like, how is his new dog doing? Well, Dale got offended because, morning, he saw that Will was watching my videos and commenting my videos, so he banned Will for that. And then he wants to go on this tirade calling these people double-minded and they're confused, which I would think, I find it interesting that somebody who claims that personal attacks are a big no-no and claims he's morally superior and personal attack, like he would never do that. When you consistently call people confused, sold out, you say they're corrupt or they're part of a pyramid scheme, they're sold out to a lie, how you are attacking somebody's character. And when you generalize entire groups of people saying that they're sold out to a lie, promoting a lie, knowingly promoting a lie, you are attacking somebody's character. That is a personal attack. You may preface it by saying, well, I don't mean this to be a cheap shot, but it is. So you're a hypocrite. You're doing the same thing to other people that you claim not to do, and when somebody does it to you, you want to play victim. But see, that's like in the past, you know, he's also accused YouTube of shadow banning him, but you know, when you ban and delete comments from every person that leaves something that may disagree with you, well, yeah, your videos aren't going to get recommended because there's no engagement. If you ban and block 90% of the people that watch your shit and nobody can engage with the video, yeah, YouTube isn't going to recommend it. That's your own fucking fault. But to be so dogmatic that you can't even like if anybody's ever watched the debate he had with Miracle Canine, I recommend watching it. It's a very good example of how somebody can be so dogmatic that Dale didn't go on that podcast to have a debate or discussion. He came on there to spew his narrative, to say what he wanted to say. And anytime David kind of caught him in a bad position, Dale would try to change the subject. So I thought that was very interesting. But something David had rightly pointed out, he's like, well, the video you were criticizing me on, like, how much of that did you watch? And he Dale would watch like a minute and 30. He basically played a minute and 30 seconds of it and then criticized it. So David had asked him, like, well, did you even watch the whole video? And of course Dale says, no, I didn't need to. And then David says, well, how do you know what the result is if you didn't even watch it? Which, this is coming from a guy who actively, he talks on and on endlessly about doing a proper audit. But a proper audit would include watching the entire video and criticizing everything. But I do find it interesting that, like in the most recent video he did of me, he says that I attempted to explain the Zach George aggressive, that dog that was in the muzzle that snapped at him. But he didn't even play my explanation. So how does he know that it was an attempt and not a thorough, or at least the whole point of that video was simply it was like a PSA for people of just when you meet a new dog, don't fucking touch it. That's all that video was meant to do, was to show people, I don't care if it's a stray dog, somebody's got it on a leash, I don't care if you're walking into somebody's home, if that dog is unfamiliar to you, simply just ignore the dog. That's all that video was meant to be. But I love how we want to take a 10-second clip of me talking about how Bruno used to do the same thing, when that was 15 years ago when I first got him, and I wasn't even working with dogs then, I was still learning. But then, it's easy to create a narrative around something when you play a little snippet of it, especially considering I was talking about that dog was doing that due to dominance and control, but don't want to mention that, right? Ryan, you made it, but got home early. Today's gone weirdly better than yesterday. We're gonna buy a crate advice type. Well, you can if you want it. I think the plastic ones are a little cheaper. I prefer. I just saw your email before I went live, Ryan. I think the wire ones, like they make these. They're black. No, that's like the average wired crate. I like those. I would recommend those. You're gonna want one big enough, obviously. Morning. Now, here's the thing. Given that the dog is an adult, I would expect that if you put her in the crate, and if she already has some anxiety issues, you may put her in the crate and say walk out of the room, and it may not go well. That would just anticipate it. I'm not saying that's going to happen, and it's something that can be worked through, but I would just expect it. But I would go with just one of those black metal crates. They're not overly expensive, and if you get it at PetSmart, most places give you like a 30-day return policy, or they have like a 30-day return policy, so you could use it. If it don't work out, you could return it. But just make sure that you don't want it too big, but you want it to where Max has enough space. But anyway, I hope that answers your question. Well, the plastic igloo, it depends on the dog. Some dogs escape from the wire ones. Some dogs, like, no matter what crate you put them in, they find a way out of it. So it just depends on the dog. But I would only recommend using the crate when you're home anyway. So I wouldn't. No, you won't. You probably won't need the food or water bowl, and I wouldn't recommend putting them in here, because if we're using the crate as a consequence, then the food and we don't need to put any food and water in there with it. Because ideally, she won't be in there for like long periods of time anyway. So that would be what I would do. Appreciate you showing up, Ryan. Thank you. Appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you. As I was saying, it astounds me how much lying these people do. The plan was to use it while I was at home first to get her used to it. I wouldn't do that with an adult dog, because like I said, you're kind of, in a way, it's, now listen, if she's avoidant of the crate and well, let's just see how she reacts to the crate first, right? I wouldn't recommend just throwing treats in there. Well, no, we're not using it for punishment, Ryan. There just needs to be a consequence when she engages with you that way. So the consequence is you just can't be with the group, you lose your freedom. But it's not, putting her in there is not meant to be, don't do it angrily, don't do it don't be mean about it. It's just a matter of fact, like, well, if you're going to do this, then you're going to go in the crate for a little bit. But it's the whole idea is that it gives her a chance to calm down. And like I said, the consequence is that she loses her freedom. So if you repeat that enough times, given that nothing else seems to be working. Right, exactly. Yeah, it's something I do a lot with puppies, and it works really, really well for puppies. But she is an adult, so it's like she has to learn. My guess is that where she came from, she was never, there was no structure, discipline, rules, boundaries enforced. So you have a dog that's kind of like stuck in this rebellious teenage stage, and you're kind of playing catch up with it. Yeah, film it, definitely. Love to see it. It's easier for me to kind of read the situation if you could film it. But like if I have a dog mouthing me, usually for me, grabbing the collar firmly works, or like I said, if I ball my hand into a fist, say Grey Goose are mouthing me, if I ball my hand into a fist and just kind of press it against her, usually a dog will go from mouthing you to kind of licking you. So it's just a little bit of pushback. It's like a firm but calm way to push back. How you doing? But there needs to be some kind of pushback. The dog needs to know that it's unacceptable to you what they're doing. Now, of course, so when you have dogs that engage in this rebellious way and you get into these power struggles, you have to win these things you're taking power away from the dog. If you kind of give in to the dog and let the dog win, the dog will become more empowered, leading to more disrespect. Yeah, I know it's hard to explain over text, but that's, it'd be easier to show you. The common mistake though people will do is they'll repeatedly verbally say no, but they're not doing anything physical. And so you just saying no and no over again doesn't really mean much to the dog. Right? But if I just say no or stop once and then do something physical to kind of push back against it, that's what will send the greatest message to the dog. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. The crate is just another way for you to introduce a little more structure to it. Because even when she's in your room loose, She can still do whatever she wants. The whole idea of the crate is that we're eliminating opportunity. We're eliminating all these options she has to get into things. Her only option at that point is you need to chill out and relax. And the other part of that structure is there is a disciplinary aspect to it where you're providing a consequence for something that you do not approve of. Right. Right. Time to relax. And what you should see is, if you plan on keeping the crate, like Bruno, my boy, he used to love going in the crate because I use it the same way as him. It was a disciplinary measure, but I also did use it when I would leave home sometimes to keep him from getting into stuff. But over time, like he loved going in the crate. It's just like a place to go and sleep. I never closed the door on him. He just liked to go in there and relax. But he did that on his own. I never, I didn't force him in there. It was just somewhere he liked to go. Put the line out. She won't play on it. She was all zoomies this morning and put her out there. Yeah, that's fine. If she, I'll give Goose some privacy. If you put her on the line and she just chills out, I mean, that's fine. You can just let her hang out there. There's nothing wrong with that. Just gotta pick this up real quick. All right, come on, bro. I don't know, but if you put her out there and it causes her to relax, then that's good information to have. She seems to, from what I can see from the videos, Ryan, she seems to be calmer outside on the leash than inside the home. From what I can gather. But this is why in the home is where boundaries are crucial. That helps the dog to understand the structure of the home. Puts you in a position of being the disciplinarian, the leader. You're establishing the do's and don'ts. And that that helps her it provides her with a sense of security as well, because now she knows what to do and what not to do. But when the dog pushes back on you in a disrespectful way, it's the dog is resisting that control. So the dog engages in a power struggle. So then the goal is you don't want to challenge her. You don't want to bring the level of challenge. You don't want her to escalate to the level where things get out of control. But you do have to engage in a power struggle to come out the other side. Her understanding that she can't engage that way and win. Yeah, and that's the way it should be. You're done walking, you come in, she lays down and relaxes. That would be ideal. But yeah, a lot of times dogs get amped up inside because, like I said, if she came from places where, if she's been in homes where there was no disciplinary measures in the home, then the habits she's created in the home is this stressed out, anxious, kind of all over the place state of mind. So you're introducing things to her that she likely never had. That's good. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend, like, if she grabs your wrist, I would stay as calm as possible. Don't panic. Don't get mad or frustrated. But you do want to make sure that you are, like, if it were me, if she grabbed my wrist, I would use my other hand to grab her collar, and then I would look her dead in her eye in a way that communicates, like, you need to back off. Like, I do not appreciate this. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, too many. Yeah, it's like Goose came from a home with 12 dogs. So I get it. There's no way you can have, unless you're, Brandon Fouché or Cesar Millan, there's no way you're going to have that many dogs and give them each what they need. Usually when they come from homes like that, it's just pure chaos. That's good. Yeah, get firm. But like I said, don't get angry, don't get mad, don't get frustrated. Stay calm, but be firm. Definitely. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody showing up. Yeah, the crate should help. Like I said, it's as an adult dog, you shouldn't need one, but it sounds like you're playing catch up here. But like I always say, the teenage phase is always the hardest. But and I don't know where this thinking comes from, but the mainstream advice is, oh, don't do anything with your dog till they're about 6 months. It's like, well, the dog's just about to be a teenager, and if you've not established the correct relationship dynamic, you've not introduced any kind of boundaries, rules, discipline, nothing, no structure, that dog's gonna become a teenager, and it's gonna be a fucking nightmare. And then what happens? The people blame the dog, and then they get rid of the dog. Dog ends up in the shelter. It's like, well, you fucked up by not doing anything for the dog, however long you had the dog, till it became a teenager, Yeah, I would say that's fine. So we're going to be gone for a couple hours. Yeah, I would use the crate at that point. But I don't see anything wrong with putting her bones or her Kong in there. Give her something to do. And that way, too, you can leave the house and have some peace of mind. You're not going to be sitting there eating worried if she's tearing shit up. So I don't see anything wrong with that. By the way, anybody else, and if anybody else watching has any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, I get it, Ryan. I get it. But it's like I said, what you're going through is typical. When you get a new dog, it's like everything's good at first, and then the dog, things start revealing themselves. But it's like, what do people usually do? They assume the dog is the problem, and then they give up the dog. And it's like, well, then the dog never gets the help it needs, and it's just going to be in this perpetual cycle of going from home to home. And I know it's difficult. I know it's not the easy path. It is the most rewarding path, but it's not the easiest path. Yeah, and that's unfortunate, man, because it definitely makes things a little worse. Having those anxiety issues. And I know there's not a whole lot that could be done about that. But just do the best you can. Right. Just be glad it's not like the Border Collie. Exactly. Could be a lot worse. Or you could end up with a Bruno. Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, and that's really good. That's really, really good, especially considering, your vision impairments. Because having a reactive dog on a leash would be another level of difficult when you have vision issues. So we got a dog coming up here. Goose needs a break, so I'm gonna let her take some shade under the bench here. So we'll sit down for a minute while this dog passes. Exactly. Yeah, you can't. Now the good news is though is like when I work with a new dog, like on the leash, especially if I have a reactive one or an aggressive one, or even in general, when I just walk in with a new dog in general, what I do, my eyes are 99% fixed on the dog I'm walking. I may glance up to check the environment, but if you are largely watching the dog you're walking, then you can see those early signs show up and immediately address them. Like as soon as that dog gets fixated on something, locks in on something, you can address it. You know, the common mistake I see people make is they'll be walking a dog that may have aggression or reactivity issues, or they're just trying to get things good on a leash, but they're focused too much on what's happening in the environment, not so much on the dog. And so little details end up going unchecked, and then things escalate. And it's like, if you just keep your eyes fixed on the dog for the most part, then you can anticipate the dog's next move. It makes it a lot easier to get the dog under control on the leash. And you can prevent that escalation from even happening. So you're in a proactive state, not a reactionary state when you're trying to address it. Morning. Very friendly, yeah. She may not want to do nothing. She's a little warm, but you could try.
Hi, what's your name?
Her name's Gray Goose.
Gray Goose?
Yeah, like the
I
vodka.
like vodka.
Yeah, I always say she's like a little shot of doggy vodka.
This is I Love Idiot. Oh my god, I love bulldogs.
Oh yeah, she's the best. She's the best.
We almost got one, so calves are
Yeah.
my go-to. This is
Yeah.
the second one that I've had, but it was either a calf or a bulldog, and bulldogs are
Yeah.
so expensive.
Well, luckily I found her. She was being fostered. I only paid $100 for her.
Really? Where?
I just found her online. Hi, how are you doing?
So cute.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking online for a couple weeks. I ran across her and another bulldog, but the other one had gotten adopted. But yeah, they were giving her up for $100. So I'm not going to pay 10. I looked up what they're charging for a dog like her. It's
They're
like
crazy.
$10,000. I'm not paying that.
I think we paid $27 for her.
$2,700. That's not too bad.
It's not terrible,
That's not too
but
bad.
it's still, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many animals that just need to be adopted.
Right.
So. Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
worked with a Cavalier. I had a client who, but she looks like a mix. Is she a mix, or is that purebred
She's
Cavalier?
supposedly full bred.
Is she really? Yeah.
Which,
Interesting.
To me, she's got a wider face.
Yeah, and a shorter muzzle.
Snout,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, she's the worst to sleep with. I don't know how this one is.
Oh, she snores like crazy.
Oh,
I love it though. I love it.
Nudge her all the time. And she always gets hot. My previous one, Penelope.
Yeah.
She was the queen of everything, and she would have to sleep right by me in the bed. This one jumps down and she's on the hardwood floor, and she needs her space.
Yeah, that's fine.
But then
I like
throughout
that.
the day, she won't leave me alone.
Oh, okay.
But then we have a rescue who's he's a shepherd mixed with a Rottweiler. So he's massive and he sheds like crazy.
Oh, I
and
bet.
He's a COVID dog.
Okay.
So I've got 3 boys, and he is so protective of kids. But any man that comes in the house, he's got to nip at him, and it's like you suck. So I can't take him for walks. Taking the 2 of them for a walk is just insane, and I feel bad separating them. Yeah. But it's like she's got to maintain her figure.
Definitely, she looks good.
She looks good.
Well, here,
Gray.
Oh, you know what?
Sweet, look at that tongue. You're a sweet dog.
I was gonna give you a card, but it looks like I ran out. I have my cards. I work with dogs. I was gonna give you my number.
What do you do?
Behavioral work. So I handle behavioral issues. Yeah.
Oh.
But I left my cards in my car.
Where are you at?
I'm over in Romeoville.
What's the name of your company?
Act Like a Human, Think Like a Dog. I'm on YouTube, but I do like in-home private. I don't take dogs and do board and train.
Okay.
It's like in-home private lessons.
I'll look it up for sure.
Sure, definitely.
Good chat.
All right. Well, thanks for saying hello. All right. You guys take care.
I love Gray Goose.
Thank you. Thank
How
you.
often do you come here?
You know, I used to come here all the time with my last 2, but since she's kind of prone to overheating, I've only been here like 4 times with her.
Okay.
But come fall, we'll be out here a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's cooler.
I live real close.
Okay.
I'm always here.
Excellent. We'll probably see you again.
What was your name?
Kevin.
Kevin Aaron.
Aaron, nice to meet you, Aaron.
Watch out for the hurricane.
Is there, you mean the Aaron? Is there,
The hurricane.
wait, what is that?
Aaron, the hurricane.
Okay, I thought you said hurricane.
Now you won't forget.
No, I won't forget. Yeah. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. You're trying to make a connection there. I totally forgot about the hurricane. Anyway, I think you said something, Ryan. I don't see it. Yeah, mine too. So I don't trip over issues of birds, squirrels, bushes, and trees. Yeah, that's pretty normal. The prey drive birds, squirrels. Yeah, that's pretty normal. I mean, the prey drive something you can get under control. But hi, how are you? Good morning. Good.
Oh, flat.
Yeah, she needs a little break. Excellent. Yeah, we're gonna let Goose get a little shade. Well, it's Goose. It's Goose. I mean, I'm a social butterfly, but Goose gets most of the attention, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. How you doing? It's like my last dog, Kaylee. She was a chick magnet, man. I'll tell you what. She was a beautiful dog. She was like Goose, though. Just excellent. Very well behaved. What you think, girl? Need a few more minutes? I'll give you a few more minutes. Anyway, I guess I'll keep talking about what I was talking about. So, this idea of, what I find interesting with guys like Dale is if you go, one day at a time, Ryan. One day at a time. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. You just focus on things as they come. One day at a time. What I was gonna say though, if you go and watch the podcast I did with Dale, you'll what's interesting about it is he agrees with everything I say, but then I express the disagreement over the leash, and now all of a sudden anything I do or say is criticized. It's like none of it's right over one little disagreement. And you see how many videos he does. It's like, so wait a minute, you go from agreeing with everything I say to now everything is wrong. How is that not the most dishonest thing? The most disingenuous thing? Especially when he admits like, oh, well, I didn't watch his work. It was because he was going after Mark and Robert, which I don't know if you saw the video he did with Mark this morning. It's like, right, I got kicked out of the cult. It's a cult mentality, man. Like seriously, Ryan, I don't understand, because I have people, I've even had paid, like clients who've paid me, that they'll tell me like, oh, I watched this, they'll send me videos of other people like, hey Kevin, what do you think about this? Or I saw this. Or like, if you are seriously going to ban people because you see them commenting on other people's videos, and you're going to say that because they watch somebody else, that they're double-minded or they're confused, like, how is that not the most egotistical shit you've ever heard? I don't care if you got, like, if you guys watch who you watch, Is there a lot of garbage out there? Yeah, but there's also a lot of people doing some really good shit too. And you're gonna try to police grown adults, like what they watch? Are you fucking kidding me? Because they don't do what you do? It's absurd. It's the epitome of pride and ego right there. You're gonna ban somebody because you see them commenting on somebody else's videos. I got people who watch me that watch Robert Hines. I see their comments on his video. I don't give a fuck. Because here's the truth. There are things that I agree with Robert on. Everybody has a little something to offer. There are things I agree with Robert Hines on. I largely disagree with him. But there are things I agree with Dale on. There are things I agree with some of the force-free people, but largely disagree with them. We don't have to all agree on everything. We don't have to like cut people off because of one little fucking disagreement, or call them confused, or say they're sold out, or call them corrupt because they disagree. Which is you're attacking somebody's character. That is a personal attack. As much as you want to frame yourself as being morally superior to personal attacks, that is a personal attack. Exactly, Ryan. Find what works from whoever. Exactly. Exactly. Listen to the idea, not the, man, I couldn't agree more with that. Criticize the ideas, not the person. Unless, listen, I have no issue getting personal with somebody if they deserve it. If they, like if I lose respect for somebody, or sometimes people need to hear hard truths. If somebody's being a hypocrite or being dishonest, or call them out on that shit. If they want to block and ban you for simply calling it how they see it, well, I don't think they're the problem. If they're right. Right, exactly. I'll even tell you a story. I had a virtual client. Awesome dude. He has a German Shepherd who, he's done such good work with this dog. But he's having a little issue with the dog chasing the cat in the house. We did a couple sessions and he was making improvements. But he knows that I recommend Brandon Fouché. I talk about Brandon Fouché. So he actually went and paid to talk to Brandon. And Brandon gave him a piece of advice that ended up working for him. And he told me about it. And I was like, hey man, I'm happy for you. That's awesome. He's like, hey man, thanks for recommending me to Brandon. Like, we had a great talk. And that one little piece of advice that he gave, which I've seen the videos of Brandon doing it. I do it a little different than Brandon, but it worked for him. Isn't that the goal? Like, are you so petty that you can't acknowledge somebody's success? Or if somebody recommends one little detail that maybe you didn't and it works, who cares, man? Like, I even saw, there was I thought about doing a video on it. There was in one of Robert Hines' videos, there was he did a video criticizing Canine Tay, and I don't know if anybody knows who Canine Tay is, she's a purely positive, person, which I very much disagree with what she does. But he did 2 videos criticizing Canine Tay, and the owner of the dog shows up in the comments and says, Robert, you know what the fuck you're talking about. Canine Tay actually helped us. You need a break, girl? Okay. This Canine Tay actually helped us. And Robert could not accept it. But the owner of the dog is saying, listen, she helped us. Now, granted, I think it is worthy of criticism that she worked with them for like 2 years. Okay. Could have been done quicker. But the guy was vouching for her, saying she helped us. My dog is better. And he said that was years ago. He said she's been better ever since. It's been years. She hasn't had a problem. So it's like, okay, well, who the fuck do you have? Who does anybody have to say anything about that? Except for maybe the time frame not being ideal. What does it matter? You know what I mean? But there are guys I like. Like, if you can't even see the good in what somebody else does, if you can't praise somebody or agree with somebody, even when you largely disagree with them, well, that's a you problem. Right? Right, Goose? That's a you problem. I mean, there are guys that I like to watch that I don't agree with everything. Like Beckman. I really like Beckman. I don't agree with everything he does. But I like watching him, and I think he's doing great work. Garrett, definitely don't agree with everything Garrett does. But does he have a lot of happy customers? Yeah. Can't argue with it. Miracle Canine. Definitely don't agree with him on everything. But 250 4 or 5 star reviews is pretty hard to argue with, right? So it's like, at a certain point we just gotta.
Good looking man.
Thank you. At a certain point you just put your own ego aside and acknowledge the good work people are doing, if they're doing it, How you doing? Right, Ryan. There's a time and place for things, you know, as you're figuring it out, because some things are going to be harder for you to do, you know, and that's fine. Bribing isn't ideal, but until we can find something that is going to be more effective for you, then, you know, like I said, progress is not people seem to think progress is like this linear line up, and you're talking about a living creature. It don't work that way. I always say progress is like a stock chart. You know, there's going to be peaks and valleys, and you might be on a downward valley thinking things are terrible, but if you just pan out and look at the overall trend, if the overall trend is going up, even if you have those ups and downs, then you're going in the right direction. Everything will be fine. I've come to the understanding in 15 years that it's the little details that make the biggest difference. So sometimes it's just the littlest thing you may be doing or not doing that's going to make all the difference. Right, there are things. Listen, I can't stand Zach George, but if he says something that is correct or that I would agree with, I'd acknowledge it. Exactly. I think overall it's going up too, Ryan. You know, like I often say, you know, it's like you're trying to figure out this big puzzle and how those pieces of that puzzle fit together. And sometimes it just takes time, you know. Right, it's like when I got Kaylee, as submissive of a dog as she was, you know, when I brought her home, she had kennel cough when I brought her home, so she was a bit sick. But she spent like the first week on the couch, curled into a ball. And when I take her for a walk, she resisted on the leash. She slipped out of the leash a few times and she ran away. But I was also still learning, trying to figure things out, trial and error. And finally, and I got Bruno 6 months later. You know, but by the time I got Bruno, I had largely, you know, pretty much got things squared away with Kaylee. And she ended up being the most perfect fucking dog. You know, you want to talk about the gold standard of having a great dog. I know, girl. Take a break. Take a break. Take a break. Yeah, and also, Ryan, you know, some dogs are very praise motivated. So while it's more important to tell your dog what you do not want, sometimes you got to time it right. But you praise her at the right moment, and that can really do a lot. Right, we'll get there, Ryan. We'll get there. I wouldn't worry about it too much. We'll get there. It's like Grizzy. Yeah, she needs a break.
We're gonna relay right next to her.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like Grizzy. Grizzy is, or hell, even Petunia. Two great examples. You know, Grizzy is one of my awesome success stories. You know, his owner's excellent work. Same with Petunia, but it was, you know, it was a struggle. Started working with Grizzy when he was 3 months old, and there was a time we were getting things on track, and then when it, you know, because it's a married couple, you know, the husband went away on a business trip, and Grizzy just started attacking the mother. And I remember she texted me. She's like, Kevin, I can't do this anymore. I don't know if we can keep this dog. I said, let me just take him for a couple days till Bob gets back, you know. And You'll be all right. You need a break. And after those 2 days, man, I tell you, they turned once Bob got back in town, he spent 2 days with me, and things turned a corner. And I remember when Grizz started finally maturing and things were smoothing out. They said he's like a real dog now. And I remember we went from her saying, I don't know if we can do this, to I don't know if we can keep this dog, to now they say, you know, hey, Grizz is a part of the family. You know? So, and Petunia's owner went through the same thing. You know, there were some trials and tribulations there. You're talking about an elderly woman in a pit bull, and now, you know, it's one of my greatest clients, greatest success stories, Petunia. No, Ryan, man, you're good. Don't worry about it. It's all good, man. The best thing you can do for me is just, you know, share my videos if you can, tag me, you know, just recommend me if you can. You know, that's the best thing you can do. That's a good, that's a, you know, exposure is a great way to, yeah, I appreciate that, Ryan. All right, it's starting to cool down a little bit, girl. We got a little bit left to go. I'll get you in the car. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Here, you want me to carry you? Here. Oh, come on, girl. Carry you. Oh. Oh yeah. It's nice and cool on the grass. Here, you know what? You know what? You're too heavy. I'll let you. It's nice and cool on the grass. I'll let you lay on the grass. Go ahead and lay on the grass, girl. Are you ready? You ready to move? If we move now, I don't think the sun will be out. Come on. I don't want you going there. You're gonna get fleas and ticks. Come on. We can make it. We can make it. Maybe I'll take you down to the water. You want to get in the water? How you doing? Yeah, let's see. I don't know. Goose isn't. I don't think she wants to get in the water. She hasn't really shown an inclination to do it. But man, 200 on the crate. Goddamn. I remember back in the day when I got one. It was a medium crate. That thing was $60, and it was the same exact crate that I was telling you about. It's like, holy shit, man. I think it's gotten expensive. Appreciate everybody showing up. Anyways, any questions or anything? I think I've largely said what I wanted to say. I mean, I know there are a couple things I missed, but I think I largely said what I wanted to say about the topic. No, I mean, those plastic crates are not the worst. They're not the worst. It's just, it just depends on how she reacts when she's in there. Like, if she goes in there and relaxes, then, you know, it's not that big a deal. You could go a little cheaper if she's not trying to escape from it. I mean, I actually started out with the plastic crates, and then I got one of the metal wire ones. Which I think back then, I got the plastic crate. I think that was like 40 or 50 bucks. But it was a little too small for Bruno, so I got him the wire one, and that was 60 bucks. Well, she may not try to get out, though. That's the thing. You don't know. If she just goes in and lays down, come on, girl, then, you know, it's not really a big deal. I know, we're almost done. We're almost done, girl. I got a dog coming up behind us, so gotta get moving. And I think Goose has had it. I think you've had it, girl. You want to pull over? Come on. We're cool. We're close to the car though. We're getting there. How you doing? Yeah, she's had it. She's done. She's had it. How you doing? Yeah, she does. I might just toss her in the lake. Yeah, take a break, bro. We're close to the car. Yeah, we're close to the car. You're doing good. You're doing great. We're close to the car. Yeah, you see people kayaking out there. This is a great little spot. I mean, this trail goes all the way around the lake, and we passed it, but that's the trail. If you go that way, you go to another park. And there's like fishing ponds back there. This is a pretty awesome little spot. There's a lot you could do here. You could spend hours here just walking the trails. There's a lot of them. Oh yeah, down here there's like this cliff. Yeah, this cliff. You could fall and roll down into that river. Pretty steep. Or here, you could fall and probably kill yourself. Right, girl? Be careful, because that's a long way down and a lot of rock. Yep. She knows though. She ain't stupid. Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Appreciate everybody showing up. Whoever did. Got any questions? Let me know. What you think, girl? Appreciate everybody showing up. We're at Whalen Lake, Bolingbrook, Illinois. One of my favorite spots to go. Used to take Kaylee and Bruno here all the time. Like every Sunday we used to come here. This is like our Sunday spot. Bruno used to love getting in the lake. He'd swim the whole damn thing if I took him off the leash. I just let it, but you know, like, cops are always over here, so I can't let him do that. But he used to love getting in. You know, there's like a pier, and then there's like the asphalt goes into the water. So I used to love letting him. That's where you push the kayak into the water. You know, I used to love letting him jump in, get wet, especially when it's hot out. Used to love getting in the water. Goose, she doesn't really show the inclination to get in the water, so, which is fine, you know. Some dogs just don't care for it. We're almost done. Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. And then I'll get you in the air conditioning. I'll turn the air conditioning on the car. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's what, about noon now? Yeah, 12:13. I'll just sit down here. I think if there's anything else I wanted to say on the topic. I think I covered everything, but I guess I'll say this. You know, if anybody you find a pattern in anybody who works in this dog world, and the majority of what they do is criticize everybody else, but the moment you criticize them, they have to make 16 response videos. Anytime you utter their name, they have to make 48 response videos. Well, there's a problem there. Robert, it's more for entertainment, really. Although, you know, some points do need to be made, but Just find it interesting how these guys love to block and ban people that, you know, they won't have a conversation with you. It's incredible. It's incredible to me. You won't have a discussion, but you'll block and ban people and then talk shit about them. It's incredible. Right? Yeah. If you can, exactly. Nah, you're not an idiot, Ryan. We all have our blind spots. We all got our weaknesses. You ready? Let's go. We all have our strengths and maybe things we're not as good at. Exactly. How else are you gonna learn? And listen, there's a difference too, because people come into my comments. I get people that watch me or subscribe to me that disagree all the time. I have no problem with people disagreeing. It's when people come in and they don't have anything to criticize. It's just insults. And it's like, well, I'm not really going to take you seriously at that point. But I always extend like anybody who disagrees, I always extend the invitation. You're welcome to come on and debate. Like, we can have a discussion. That invitation's always on the table. Right, blind, right. Yeah, I guess that was no pun intended, Ryan, but you know. And if any of you have seen the debates I've had with the force-free people, like those, you know, the first one at least, I mean, it's a very pleasant conversation. You know, there wasn't any insults or vitriol or name-calling in any of those. Or actually, the first two. The last one didn't really go the way of insults, but you know, rage quit. I guess. I don't know. It's like, you know, I don't know. It is what it is. But that's how it goes, I guess. You know, if you think you're the only one with all the answers and nobody else is right about anything, well, you know, we have an issue. Or the constant lying and misrepresenting what people say, well, that's an issue too. What do you mean? The last one was something? What do you mean? Oh, you're right. Yeah. I get it, man. I get it. I get it. What kills me though is like somebody that doesn't even like criticize or insult you. They just simply comment and say like, "Oh, I don't mind this person," and then you're gonna fucking block. You're gonna ban them for that just because they don't mind somebody you vehemently hate. Like, really? You kidding me? Like, goddamn, man. Like, I got some male maxi pads for you. You know, it must be a heavy month. Holy shit. That's all right, Ryan. Let's not put the cart before the horse, man. You know, because, right, how dare you not think exactly. How dare you not espouse every idea I espouse and agree with everything I say. Here's one thing I'll say, too, just to make this point. The parent-child analogy is a good analogy, but the selfish child analogy does not apply to every dog. Does not apply to every behavioral problem. Not every behavioral problem is a selfish child issue. Right? Does not apply to every situation. Which goes back to this idea that this one-size-fits-all system does not work. It does not work. There is no one-size-fits-all situation or system that applies to every single dog on planet. It does not work. Oh, that's what else I was going to say. Anybody who puts their own personal dog behind a fucking paywall, I would question. Dale McCluskey puts his personal dog behind a membership paywall. You can't see his personal dog unless you pay for it. And I have on good authority that Dale, his little 1% dog, as he calls it, he's had the dog for months, and it was very recent that he made a video apparently talking about how his dog peed on the carpet next to his wife, and it was due to control. Right? like, I find it interesting that you would put that behind a paywall, but you wouldn't want to put that on your main channel for everybody to see and have an opinion about. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. Don't say you're the only one with all the answers and put your own fucking dog behind a paywall because she's just a pet. Get out of here. You said you wanted to make her a helper dog. Get the fuck out of here. I would love, listen, I took every opportunity. When I first got Goose, I was like, excellent. People could see everything from when you get a dog to getting it where it needs to be. Like, it's a great opportunity if you work with dogs to show people when you first get a dog how it's supposed to go. I don't understand why you would put that behind a paywall. No, to me it's like this, Ryan. Right, change the questions. I like that, actually. I like that. No, there should be more videos, transparent. And that's the thing, you know, it's also coming from a guy who had a service dog come back for reactivity, and then the only follow-up we got was, oh, he's doing great, thanks for asking. Well, can you show us? How do you have, if your way is like the godly way of doing it, like the Holy Bible of handling behavioral issues, then how come you had a service dog come back for reactivity? And how come the owner wasn't present for that? If the issue is between dog and owner, how come you brought the dog back for a refresher and you did the same shit you did the first time? That don't make any sense. You should be able to show people the mistakes you make, the good stuff, the bad stuff, right? Sometimes things just don't go perfectly, and that's fine. I've had many sessions where I start with what usually works, and when it doesn't work, you troubleshoot on the spot. You figure it out. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay, Ryan. Sometimes I miss shit too. Sometimes things happen so fast. All right, you want to take a shortcut? Sometimes things happen so fast, and it's just like you just miss it. You know, it happens. It's fine. Oh no, I don't think they cut this down, Goose. Let's see if they cut this down, girl. Okay, I think it's all right. It's a little bushy. No, that's good because everybody can see. Oh shit. Yeah, girl, this ain't gonna work. Come on, this ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. This way. No. This way. Come on. They didn't trim this. You're just asking to get fleas and ticks. We go down there. Yeah, we're asking for it, girl. If we go down that way, I'm sorry. Otherwise, I'd go. We're so close, girl. We're so close. It's cloudy. We're so close. Let's go. We're almost there. Yeah, we're close. Come on. We're almost done. Oh, she is so done. You didn't though, Max. You were trying to soak up as much as you could before you did. And most people don't do that. So, you know, you trying to learn as much as you could before you went and made the move, that's as good as any. I mean, I did the same thing. You know, and it's one of those things where it's like you can read or watch as much as you want, but it's different when you're in the situation with the dog. It's like applied knowledge versus acquired knowledge. You know, book smarts versus street smarts. And so they're two very different things. And but good on you for doing it. You know, it's like I said, it's always the right thing to do is try to get as prepared as you can, because at least you have something to draw from, or at least you have some resources you can go to should things not go the way you want or the way you expect. You know what I mean? Although I don't know, are you making a joke? Someone who's leaving is blind. Are you trying to make another blind joke? I don't know. Maybe you are. Right. I'll give her another break. We'll give her another break. We got people crossing. How you doing?
Oh, what you got there? That's a bully?
I got a bulldog-shaped tumor.
Yeah, look, he knows to get up under the bench.
Yeah, she just break. Stay cool. Yeah. Yeah, we're heading close. I'm gonna see if I can get her in the water. She might take a drink. Yeah. What you think, girl? You want to try and get in the water? Yeah. Luckily, it's a nice cloudy day. What you think, girl? Let's finish it up. You need a minute? All right, fine. We are so close to the car. She don't know that though. Appreciate everybody showing up. Anybody has any questions, let me know. A little bit longer of a live stream. The topic of conversation is kind of interspersed throughout, so you may have to jump from section to section to hear what I had to say, but it don't matter. Right, girl? Don't matter. Yeah, don't matter. We'll get you some water. We'll get you some water. Let's go. Let's go. Want to get in the water? Do you some good. Yeah, we got some kayakers out there. Looks like she still needs a minute. I'm tired of holding this bag of shit though. I'd like to find a garbage can for this. I'm tired of holding it. I'm tired of smelling it. Tired of smelling it. Appreciate everybody showing up. If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to ask. We are out at Whalen Lake. Beautiful spot. Been here many times. A lot to do out here. There's actually this trail further, just a bit up the road. I don't know what it's called, but in the fall, I'll have to do a stream over there. It's like one of the most beautiful places. It's like this winding trails through this, I don't even know. It's like a wooded area, but it's also next to this big, like you see in the distance there, that mountain. These trails that go around it. I think one of them kind of goes up it a little bit. But in the fall, there's so many trees and plants. I mean, the colors out there are just incredible. And I used to love taking the dogs out there in the fall. That was a great trail. Yeah, you still need a minute, Goose. That's all right. Car is right there. We're so close to the car. But anybody has any questions, let me know. If you're just dropping by, killing time, appreciate you showing up. You ready to move, girl? We're so close to the car. You ready to move? Not yet? All right. Oh, I got her with you. She's done really well. This is a long walk for her. Yeah? What you think? No? All right, I'm gonna see if I can find a garbage can. You take a break if you need to. Wow. We'll wait for this person to pass. Beautiful day though. Not too hot, nice and cloudy. Oh, he's going the other way. Okay. What you think, sister? All right. I know. Okay, I'll sit down with you. Yeah, just enjoying the day. Appreciate everybody showing up. Anybody has any questions? Got something to say? Leave a comment. Happy to answer it. You ready? Yeah? You ready to move? All right, girl. Come on. Let's go. Ready to move? Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Here. Let's keep going. Okay, let's get moving. All right. Hope everyone's having a great Friday afternoon, wherever you're at. Okay. You ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we're close, girl. Let's go. Close to the end here. Come on, girl. Let's get in the air conditioning. Let's get in the air conditioning. Cool you down. All right. Well, hold on. Car coming. Good. Because of course there has to be a car coming, right? All right, let's go. Come on, let's go. All right, everybody, I'm gonna get Goose in the car. Gonna get her some air conditioning and some water. Appreciate everybody showing up. If you missed it, catch the repeat. Y'all have a great day.